Hello, this is Open Platform of Armenian Public Television. I am today hosting Mr. Sos Avetisyan, member of National Assembly of Armenia, from My Step faction, and we will discuss the recent aggression by Azerbaijan and supported by Turkey. Mr. Avetisyan, thank you and welcome to our studio.
Thank you for the invitation.
How would you describe the Turkey-Azerbaijan aggression and this alliance?
Well, historically, Turkey has been on the side of Azerbaijan early on. I mean, even in the beginning of the century, this state was created also by the participation of the Ottoman invading army. But what should be noted is that in this escalation, after 1994, this is the highest escalation, the war is in essence. Starting from July, we have a different rhetoric of Turkish leadership. And in July clashes on the Tavush region of Armenia, where Azerbaijan started an aggression one more time, we saw something changing fundamentally. And what we see now is that there is a considerable Turkish involvement, not only in terms of information support and diplomatic support, but also military one. And this is what is very much worrying. And this alliance is basically between two similar dictators that are playing or instrumentalizing the nationalist card. Erdogan on the one side and Ilham Aliyev on the other side. So that's what we are seeing, and that's why it's a strange bromance, but it was very much expected to be so.
Yesterday we saw that Turkish F-16 struck Armenian Su-25. Later, Azerbaijan leadership tried to reject that fact. What does it mean for you?
Well, one thing is clear, that we actually saw that Turkey and Azerbaijan were having joint military drills in July continuously, and we knew that certain airplanes or other military equipment of Turkish made or pertaining to Turkey are stationed in Azerbaijan. And the way that the Azerbaijani leadership rejected this is clearly indicating that it was the Turkish F-16 that struck the Armenian jet, because they said that on the balance of the air force of the Azerbaijan, we don't have. Of course, you don't have it because that's on the balance of the Turkey, and that was operated from the Ganja, and it's basically scrambling and protecting the air force divisions of Azerbaijan from behind. And this is a clear involvement of Turkey, and this should be is documented. It's easy to be proved also to the international community, and when the war is done, this will be put on the table and discussed about.
It's becoming more and more obvious and documented and fact-based that terrorists are fighting from Azerbaijani side, and they are financed through Turkey. What reactions and what feedback do you have from the international community or from your colleagues from abroad?
What we can see is that now our international community is kind of capturing the story and understanding that Turkey has sent mercenaries to Azerbaijan to be part of this aggression against Artsakh Republic. It was clearly documented by the Reuters journalist. What is also important that I need to underline is that Turkey is also spreading blatant lies and propaganda, trying to shift this narrative against the Armenians. For example, the statement that the Member of Parliament Rustam Bakoyan made in the National Assembly about the Yazidis that are citizens of Armenia living here, our brothers. Basically, they tried to shift it as if Armenia is trying to use mercenaries. But what is clear to the international community that this has been the signature of Turkey, not only in Azerbaijan currently using it against Artsakh, but also in Syria, in Libya. And this is this new type of proxy wars where they just basically hire mercenaries and send them around because they don't care about these people, and these people don't have anything to lose. They're basically mercenaries, terrorists. So this is something that needs to be further documented, and Armenia does have the proof of it and communicated to the international partners. And we are talking to our international partners, especially on this issue. And I think that we should raise the stakes of the international community to understand that financing terrorism is prohibited by the international law in all times. So this is something that we need to work with further on, with more documentation and more proof. At the same time, it's important to kind of continue the thread of the media. There were discoveries that basically how much these mercenaries are getting paid, what type of mercenaries are there, could there be more mercenaries that are sent by Turkey? There are some guessings in the international community. So this is what we need to document as a state, that basically Turkish involvement is through the mercenaries, backing up Azerbaijan through Air Force and other type of military support that can be denied in some ways for them, and also through diplomacy and propaganda. That is also an important part of the Turkish narrative.
I would like to emphasize on one very important thing, that Azerbaijani forces target the civilian infrastructure and civilians. When you report about it to the international community and your colleagues abroad in the parliaments, different countries, what reaction do you have, and what is their first answer to these reports?
Unfortunately, in some ways, sometimes our international colleagues will be very kind of shy away from just directly calling. They call upon Azerbaijan, say that, look, targeting civilian population is not okay in any times, in any wars. It's prohibited by the Geneva Conventions as well. But some of our international colleagues understand very well, and sometimes they condemn. And the idea is to kind of work on this direction. The European Court of Human Rights made a decision to kind of accept the interim measures, calling both Armenia and Azerbaijan to kind of follow up on their ruling. But what is important that it was Armenia that filed the complaint.
Yeah.
So it's important that Armenia has this fact basis and the factual evidence there, which is a very good starting point for the Armenian diplomacy to kind of leverage that and say, look, this is the European Court of Human Rights already saying this. This is not just us. We gave the facts. It kind of was judged by these judges there, and the decision is made. So that is a very helpful thing, and I think that our representatives did a very good job in the European Court of Human Rights communicating on a legal way what is happening. But we need to work with this further on with our international partners. And most of the colleagues that we have talked know very well how Turkey operates or how Azerbaijan operates. But they are always shy in saying something directly, trying to be always in this diplomatic language. But I think that should stop. At a certain point, things should be called in a way that they are.
And about the yesterday's special closed sitting in the United Nations Security Council, we don't know yet the details, but what can we expect from that? And further, what can be expected in the developments?
I think that the sitting at the UN, the Security Council, already they made a statement as called. They did this statement, press elements. And what has been important that the Security Council, UN Security Council, has marked that the negotiations should be within the premises of the OSCE Minsk co-chair group. So this is the important piece of the information, that the Minsk co-chair group is the platform where Armenia, Nagorno Karabakh, and Azerbaijan are to sort out the conflict. So that is the main thing that we need to take out from the. Everything else was just the usual language that we get from the international organization.
And also we are receiving signals from a European Parliament that they are starting openly blaming Turkey in this involvement. What do you think, what is the main reason and what are the roots of this?
In many ways, the European Parliament, as well as the Europeans or European Union, is understanding the very destabilizing role that Turkey is playing in the wider region. It did the same in Syria, it did the same in Libya, now in Eastern Mediterranean, and there's a simmering relations between Turkey and Greece, Turkey and Cyprus. So the Europeans, Turkey and France, so that the Europeans understand very well that what Turkey is currently doing is basically projecting some neo-Ottoman ambitions all around. It goes to east and west. And now we see that they pick destabilizing factors from one region and trying to export it to South Caucasus, as was the case with the mercenaries. So that is how the Turkey is operating, and the European Union over time is getting a comprehensive understanding of what Turkey does, because they have been leveraging also these destabilization effects on the European Union. Remember the refugee deal that was made between the EU and the Turkey. So this is something that we need to kind of closely follow and work with the Europeans and say that we need to basically confine Turkey to its premises for the security and the stability.
Mr. Avetisyan, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is Open Platform of Public Television of Armenia, and I was talking to Mr. Sos Avetisyan, member of National Assembly of Armenia from my step faction. Thank you for watching us.